For this recipe, you will need maraschino cherries with stems, chocolate kisses, milk chocolate chips, red and white decorating gel, and sliced almonds.
Hey everybody, it's Mona, and we're here today. We're going to do some chocolate-covered cherry mice. They're really cute. I've been doing it for about 10 years, and people go crazy over them. You're going to need cherries, maraschino cherries with stems. That's the key. And in a regular little bottle, you should get about 25 or so out of that. I have a pan covered with wax paper, which we'll put it on so that they come off easy at the end. Some chocolate chips. I'm using milk chocolate chips. Sliced almonds, which you buy in a bag. And what you're really looking for, you're going to have a lot of broken pieces, but are the ones that are whole or mostly whole, because those are going to make the ears. And we'll need the chocolate kisses, which are going to make the heads and the snouts for the mice. So we'll get started. The first thing you're going to need to do is melt the chocolate chips. I used to do it on the stove, but it always seemed to be so messy, so then I just began putting it in the microwave. And I usually do it 15 to 30 seconds at a time. And we'll do that, and then we'll start putting them together. After about 30 seconds with this many chocolate chips, you kind of stir it around. This is what it looks like. It's starting to get soft, and on the bottom you can certainly see that it's getting softer. And then stir it around a little bit if you can, and then put it back in. Now when it starts to get like this, I wouldn't do it more than 15 seconds at a time until it gets to be the consistency that we want. So we'll keep checking and keep heating it. I did another 15 seconds, so now we're heading toward 45 seconds, and it's getting really nice and smooth. I might only do it another 5 or 10 after I mix it up, because you can see there's still some clumps from the chocolate chips. So stir it up good, and then I'll probably do another 5 seconds just to kind of get it to the point that I did another 5 seconds, and it looks perfect to me. So mix it up, and what we're going to do is you're going to work on the wax paper. The first thing you're going to do is, and I should mention that the maraschino cherries that I have, they have the stems like I mentioned before, but I had drained them for a long time in a colander so that you don't get the syrup in there, because if you dip it with too much syrup, it's going to seize your chocolate right up. So you want to make sure that they're as dry as you can be, and then it's going to get messy, so you might want to have a towel or something on hand. But here we go. First thing you're going to do is you take a cherry and you dip it in the chocolate. You want to make sure that it gets good and covered, even up to the stem. Then you plop it down. Take a kiss, and then you take a couple of, let me turn it, maybe you can see it better. While the chocolate is still wet, you take the almonds that are sliced, thinly sliced, and you stick them in there, and then you have the ears. Let's do another one. We'll do a couple so you can kind of get the technique down. It's very simple. Dip it, make sure it's good and covered, plop it down, grab a kiss, and take the ears. Now this is a great project to do with kids, because they absolutely love doing this. They will get messy, but some things you just have to take in stride and forgive. So one more. Okay, take the kiss, find a couple of ears, and put them in. Okay, so we dipped a bunch of the mice, and here they are, but they still need, eyes and noses and, a little personality. So what you do, and you use this gel in white and one in red, and that's what we're going to use to finish them off. So here we go. We sometimes you get a little goop in the front, so let that go out, and then you take a dot here and a dot there for the eyes. kind of go along. And do that, and let it, you know, sit as you're working on the other ones. The eyes can be close together, far apart, doesn't make any difference. And then this gel doesn't usually completely dry, so you are going to want to be careful with it anyway. So if you were going to put them in a box or something, you want to make sure that you're very careful and that it stays upright. So, but these are cute to use. We've used them to decorate on top of cakes before, to have on their own or like on a cookie platter for the holidays. We've used them as Christmas mice, but they certainly would work well for Halloween too, or just any time. Or if somebody has a rodent problem,
You can give it to them as well.
So then break out the red. The red tends to be a little stickier, which is nice. So you kind of give them a red nose if you want. And then you give them red eyes. There we go. Kind of sticks on there.